सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. ॐ. So happy New Year to all of you. 2021, January 1st here in India. So India is a bit ahead of America and other countries, at least in time zone, we are ahead. So, but we are happy that we can meet today, at least some of us. And spend the time to think about things that we love to think. And now that we have studied Vedanta, we have an idea about, what life is all about, etc. Clarity is there. So that helps us utilize these moments much better. I remember the days when New Year Eve means it's a time to party, New Year Eve. So party means not ordinary party. It's all noise and all kinds of things. A lot of liquids flowing and so on and so forth. That's what New Year Eve is. And New Year means like that. And run around and drive around and midnight, past midnight and this. So I suppose people can enjoy. I think nothing wrong in enjoying. It's let's start the year by enjoying, right? I think that's nothing wrong with that. I don't see anything wrong with that. But then, so they talk about this New Year resolution. Okay, I think the concept is good. I don't know how successful these New Year resolutions are. That's a different story altogether. But the idea is good. I think we all should. We all need that. I believe we need that. And so here also, now that we are studying Vedanta, studying Bhagavad Gita, can we make any New Year resolutions? Now, I don't think we need a resolution per se. We can make a resolution any day, really speaking. The more we study the Bhagavad Gita, the more sensitive we become to things around us, the more careful we are about how we talk. All this you all know. And so, and then we ask the question, how do I do this? How can I improve myself? What else should I do in my life? How can I improve my relationships? All these ideas start coming. And so then, like this question we never asked before, because we are not trained like this. We're not trained to, all our education has been only to gain more and more expertise, more skill in a particular area. Really, it doesn't help us. It can help us in our career, but nobody told us how to be compassionate, why compassion is important, why speaking properly to somebody without hurting, what is the meaning of talking to somebody without hurting. These things nobody told us. I never got a lecture on that. And these things become important for us. So that is why this study becomes very significant for us. And so I thought today I will just cover a small aspect of this so-called self-improvement. Now, sometimes when we study the Gita, we might have the question, so I'm studying so much, now what should I do next? This what should I do question can sometimes come, and it can bother us. It need not bother us, because the Shastram says very clearly, Shravanam Kuru. Shrotavyaha mantavyaha nididhyasitavyaha. This is what the advice is given, correct? So you just listen and automatically things will happen. And it's already happening to all of us. But that anxiety will be there. What should I do? Should I do anything different, etc.? Yeah, so Karma Yoga is there, and we are doing things differently. We are looking at our relationships differently. We are looking at our life as the goal of our life is getting Antakarana Shuddhi and thereby moksha. This much clarity we've already got. But sometimes we have to make a conscious attempt to change our attitude. Conscious attempt. Because there can be a lot of difficulties in the home, a lot of difficulties in our relationships, and a lot of uh, burdens being placed on ourselves, and a lot of judgments being made in the family and close relationships. Like this, it's going to be there. Every family is like that, and no family is an exception. And so consciously we have to make some decisions. I will be like this, so I need to help myself, and this is the way I'm going to help myself. Correct? And those decisions we have to make. That is where deliberation is needed in light of Vedanta. So the Upanishads, when we study, it assumes that we are all ready. We are all ready means what? We are of course following dharma, no doubt, and then we are all karma yogis. It assumes that. That is why Upanishad, Kena Upanishad, if you study, Kena Upanishad is only 35 mantras. There are 4 khandas, 4 sections, and total number of mantras is 35. Bhagavad Gita, we are studying for so many months, and it's going on and on. 700 plus shlokas are there. Kena Upanishad, 35 mantras. This is all. We can just finish off. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Few months this Upanishad, few months that Upanishad. That is because there is so much as it assumes. Upanishad assumes a lot from us. We are all adhikaris: Vivekam, Vairagyam, Shamadamadi, Mumukshutvam. These 4 are there, adhikaris. It assumes we are all Vivekis, we are all Vairagis, Viragis. It assumes that. But the reality is we are not. We are, but we are not. Both. We are all growing. We are all changing. Our view is constantly changing. And we are all maturing. Like the flower is blossoming. That's the reality. That is why we need to constantly look at ourselves and do a reset, do a check. And this new year, whether it is English New Year or Tamil New Year or Gujarati New Year, it doesn't matter. We are going to use that as an opportunity for ourselves. That's all we're saying. So that's the beauty here. And so I thought I will mention just one aspect. When in my own life, and when I saw the lives of other people, one thing that came to me my mind is that when people worry, when I worry, and when I see other people worrying, I found one thing. And I found that, wait a minute, this person is worrying so much for so little. Nothing much has happened, but still see how much the person is worrying. I think all of you have that experience. If not for yourself, for somebody else. See, when we are worrying, we won't ask this question. When somebody else is worrying, you will say, what is this? Okay, I think we can solve the problem. Or, come on, chalega, let go. What is the problem? We are very objective when we advise others, And we become, come on, life is all more than what you're thinking it is. So that's good. Sometimes it's good to be in that position. And so what makes us say, Are chalega? What makes us say it's nothing? What makes us say let go? And we have to, first step, we have to recognize what we have. So today, that's why I gave the title, part 1, because the self-improvement is a huge topic. Books and books have been written on it, and people are going around talking all over the world on self-improvement. Very important. I think those who think that I must improve myself it's a good idea. Improve myself not from a professional point of view. I want to attend this workshop, etc. Not that improvement, but as a person, I want to be better. That's a beautiful thing to have. So, in my own life, when I was a child, when I lost my pencil or a pen, I used to worry a lot. I used to worry. I was so attached to the pen, probably, or pencil, so attached that if I can't find it, I'm just, there's a lot of anxiety. Just one pencil. or some eraser. Now, if somebody had said, come on, you lost a pencil, okay, search for it, where is it? Did you put it in the bus, or where did you, or school somewhere? Did you go to the playground? Did you leave it there? And if you can't find it after 10 minutes, okay, let go. We can buy another pencil. Nobody told me that. And nobody told me that because I did not express my anxiety to anybody also. I was worrying about it myself. And in the mind, worry is there. I never told my mom or dad. No, I'm a bit upset because I lost my pencil. So this worry used to be there. And so it carries on in life, It's pencil worry is just starting point. Later on, worry about everything. Worry about book, worry about children, worry about family, worry about parents, worry everything comes. Don't think pencil worry is just pencil worry. Pencil worry is just object is pencil, that's all. So then I realized one thing that you have to periodically I have to look at myself and say, I'm blessed. I have a lot going in favor of me. Correct? I have a lot going in favor of me. And I spent time actually listing things that are going in favor of me. This is what I wanted to stress upon today for a short while. In chapter 6, Sri Krishna does say, what does he say? Uddhared atmanatmanam. We will cover it, we'll come to it. Uddhared atmanatmanam natmanam avasadayet. Uddharet, may you lift yourself. May you lift yourself. Don't expect somebody else to come and help you magically. No, don't. Those ideas you let go. You have to take the initiative to help yourself. Krishna tells Arjuna, Uddared Atmana Atmanam. So, Atmana Atmanam. Help yourself, by using yourself, by using your own effort, by using your own buddhi. Natmanam avasadayet. Don't judge yourself. Look at that, how beautiful it is. Don't judge yourself. Don't condemn yourself. Don't say, I'm no good. I'm no good. I'm a failure. I am this, I am that. This constant judgment, this like the tanpura, that thing is going on. The raga is going on. I'm no good. I'm no good. I'm no good. So we have to find a way to neutralize all this. And so that advice we need to take. And New Year is a good time to think about that advice. And often we tell our children also, now come on, give that balloon. Come on, give that pencil to your friend. You have how many pencils? You show me how many pencils you have. You have 5 pencils. You can't give one to your friend? Oh yeah, I can give one to my friend. Okay, take it. So we help our children recognize that they have so much going for them. And same thing we have to do for ourselves also. If we find ourselves getting caught up in this disappointments, frustrations, constant frustration, lot of reasons for frustration. We are only talking about one aspect of it. And I forget what I have. I forget what I have going for myself. And so we have to consciously think through this. I have parents, I have a family, husband, wife, I have children, and I'm happy about that. And I had a good childhood. Okay. And my schooling was good. Despite some difficulties, I had a good time when I was studying. I had a good time in college. Something, whatever is good about your own personal life, whatever was good memories, you list all that and you think about all that. And I'm fine now also. And I have a lot of things. I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable enough that I'm able to attend a Bhagavad Gita class. And there is no guarantee we can attend Gita class and all that. No guarantee. Well, Ishvara Kataksham has to be there. Otherwise, there is no chance of us getting together in this forum. So that is a plus. Like this, I have to list all these things. All my accomplishments, professional accomplishments. I've done well in my profession. Psychologist, doctor. and educator, teacher. I'm happy to be a teacher. I'm so happy because I can make a difference in the lives of children. Children are looking up to me. They trust me so much, and I have to be responsible. And I have been responsible. Look at that. What a feeling it gives us, right? How such a simple act of teaching some algebra to a child gives us so much, and we need to recall that. We need to recall that. If we don't recall it, what happens? All this just goes away, and we get caught up in our little life where people are demanding and there is a lot of friction and so on and so forth. And it's a good exercise to sit back and then think through all this. And so you this list is your own. You have to be creative in coming up with this list. I am generous with my time. Whenever people ask me something, I don't run away. I actually spend time with that person. Say that. If you are that kind of person, you say it. That's a strength. How many people can give their time to others? Because it's a fast paced world, and people are not going to sit and talk to you just like that for even for a few minutes. But I'm not like that. So if that is the case, list it. These are your strengths. Because nobody is going to appreciate us for that. And in the sense, we can't wait for people to pat us on our backs. And if somebody pats us on our back, well and good, I'm happy to take that. But otherwise, we have to consciously be clear about who we are. Very important. So having said that, how do I implement this? Once we agree that I have had a good life, a lot of traumas are there in my life. Every family has trauma, and somebody passed away, mother passed away, children very sick. Like this, the list is big. Traumatic events have taken place. So we have to address that also. Okay, that's a separate topic. And but despite all that, there is a lot going for me. So I'm going to. So how do I implement it? I actually took a piece of paper and started writing. Started writing whatever came to mind. And I would write and maintain a big list. A list. And it looks like a small list because nothing comes to mind. Because I am now frustrated, right? A frustrated person cannot appreciate what's going on, all the good things. So you got to have a calm mind and start writing. Then after a few days, and some classmate of you calls you on the phone. Hey, how are you? Then you had a good time. You spoke to the person for 1 hour on the phone. And then you go back to the piece of paper and write it down. I have good friends from my old days. I have good friends still. That's a big plus. Big plus. So I used to write this down. And then what simply writing is not enough. I used to look at that piece of paper periodically. So periodically look it up. Yes, yes. That's so good, so true. And have so much. I was so blessed when I was in college. Anything could have happened. No, nothing happened to me. I came out of college. I did reasonably well. And so like this, the list is growing bigger and bigger. And and then when I'm depressed also, depressed and you're stuck. There's no solution. Then also you look up. You just need 1 minute. That 1 minute you need a window. Sometimes you will not get a window. When I'm depressed, you won't get a window. But you look at. That's why daily prayer. Daily prayer. That's why it's important. See, I'm telling you, daily prayer. When you stand in front of the puja room in your deity, you look at Dakshinamurti, Krishna, or Lalita Devi. That is the window of opportunity. I used to keep that list in my puja room because that is when I am calm. If I'm not calm elsewhere, there I'm definitely calm. So I will look up that sheet and say, I'll look it up. So I used to keep these things in my puja room. And so I can keep that list there. So it can remind me. And then another thing, Puja Swamiji used to say, I remember that. He said, the minute you wake up and look at your hands, just look at your hands. Lift your hands. Lift. Keep it down. Goes down. Move your fingers. Yeah, it's moving. Left hand. Oh, left hand also is working. What about the right leg? Is it moving or not? Lift it and see. Yeah, it's working. Left leg. Left leg is also working. My God, the body is operating exactly the way I want. That's amazing. No guarantee that this should be like this. What about turn around? You can turn around. Yes, I can turn around. What about your eyes? Are they working? Yes, I can see everything. Can you recognize everything you see? Yes, I recognize that also. It's my home. Familiar. So Swami said, acknowledge all these things. Start the day by acknowledging everything you have. And thereby I can say, I legitimately have one day. One more day I've got now. I can use it to the best of my ability. Okay. So starting the day, that's why now imagine if children were taught this shloka, Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. And then you tell them, as a kid, you don't have to tell all these things, frustration, this, that, all that. You don't have to say all that. Just say Karagre Vasate Lakshmi. And then they are doing it. So every day you're doing it. And then that for that child, when the child becomes an adult, it becomes easy to look at the hand and easy to recognize the blessing that is there. So this is how we implement. Implementing is also important. We can't simply think about it and then leave it. So we have to, sometimes we may have to make an attempt to do that. And similarly, end of the day, we have a shloka, Karacharana Kritam Vak Kayajam Karmajam. We have a shloka. The more I think about it, I am just stunned at the way they have given us all these things. Is it not? And without telling all psychology and all, without going through all this big lecture on some intellectual psychology, depression, this, that, they have just given us all these things. And so that automatically it resets myself. Just by taking the time to say that shloka, that itself brings me back to reality, brings me back to myself, gives me a break, right? Sometimes all you want is a break, right? Give me a break for 5 minutes. That's all we want. We can handle anything in this world, but I want a break. Don't put me through this day in and day out. I need a break. So I just walk out. That break I get when I do my puja, I get a break. When I chant something for a few minutes, I get a break. And so these are the things we can use to implement this idea of recognizing all the things that are in favor of us. And and so now what is the benefit of all this? Well, the benefit will be there. And so whenever I'm thinking negatively, it will neutralize that. It will immediately remind me, wait a minute, that's enough. I've been complaining for the last 5 minutes, and that's enough. It allows me to put a full stop. Putting a full stop is so important. It allows me, okay, I worried enough, I bothered everybody enough. Enough is enough, and let's move on. Let's come back to it later if we have to come back. So it gives me that freedom. That freedom it gives me. And any frustration that is there, it will neutralize that frustration. It's not like, don't think a sannyasi will not be frustrated. Sannyasi will get frustrated. I can get angry also. But that person will just bounce out of it. Bounce out of it like a ball. Ball just falls, but immediately it bounces. That is the greatness of this shastra. And so we can handle disappointments much better. Getting stuck in a vortex of worry, anxiety. How do I do? How do I live without him? How do I live without her? These ideas are all there. And so that idea, we come out of that. And living without a person is a reality. Everybody has to learn to live without others. Correct? We live with others so that we learn to live without others. Is that true? Can we say that? We live without others so we can grow up and then we can live without others. That's the beauty. And so those are the benefits of something like this. And How long should I do it? How long should I do it? Well, as long as I need to do it. And as you keep doing it, you will realize. And I used to do it for many months. I used to follow other techniques also, which I'll mention some other time. And I used to do it. Now I don't have to do it because I've done it. It is enough for me. And when I get stuck somewhere, I can just stop myself. And so you don't have to do it after some time. So you yourself will know. But until then, keep doing it. It is a technique that you're using for your own benefit. So keep using it for as long as you want to. And for somebody who doesn't need, that person is not shaken by any adversities and things like that, then okay, then that person moves on. But then for most of the rest of us, we need some techniques like this. And so recognizing what we have going for us is so important. And otherwise, what will happen? The list of things I don't have, that becomes big. And I'll keep on thinking about, I wish I had this. I wish she was like this. I wish he was like this. See, when we grow up, generally after some time, we are not after running after material things, but we have expectations of people. They must be like this. She must be like this. He must be like this. Why he is not doing this course in college? And this worry is constant. Everybody is fine. Once a day, I must say this to myself: everybody is fine. Everybody is happy. I want to allow everybody to be what they are. Who am I to tell he must do this and she must do this? No, everybody is fine, and they are coming with their own karma, and I will do my best to help others. This is all I can say. I have no right to really make somebody think differently or do things differently and change their attitude, even though others may have to change their attitude. I have no control over it. So it's best I accept what I have and pursue the study of the Shastra. Shastra makes me a stable person, unshakable. We don't need to understand every word Krishna is saying. That will all come in time. But Shastram is there, I'm fine. Shastram is there to protect me. So, so with that we can end. So I'm reminded of Vikramaditya. So a king, a great king, and he lived some 2000 years ago. Some scholars say some 60 BCE. Some scholars say little after that, etc. But he was such a great king that many other kings, they used to call themselves whatever. Rana Vikramaditya. Vikramaditya became a suffix. That's how great a king he was. And in his court, he was a courageous man. He was honest. He was just, and of course, he was a patron of arts and culture, and of course, all the debates and all he used to conduct. And therefore, he had many scholars in his court, and so he wanted to test, and he gave a simple test. He drew a line on the sand. He drew a line. Just he drew a line with his hand, and he called everybody. He said, I want, who can reduce the size of this line? Who can reduce the size of this line without touching the line? Without touching the line. And people were puzzled. What kind of thing is that? Without touching the line, how can you reduce the size of this line? How can you change anything about this line? How can you change the direction of the line without touching it? Then one of the scholars, Vetala Bhatta said, I know how to do it. So he comes there. Next to the line, he draws a much longer, thicker and bigger line. He draws a much longer, thicker and bigger line. He said, your line is smaller now. Significantly smaller. Yes or no? So this is what we need here. We need to draw that big, long, thick, fat line next to our short, small lines. And we have the ability to do that. And so that's what I wanted to share with you today. And and really speaking, what we said today has nothing to do with Vedanta, right? It's just a practical thing we are doing. It's just psychology. And so, therefore, what is the connection between this and Vedanta? Well, technically, no connection. But in reality, there is a connection because I need to help myself in these matters. These are all practical things. These are all basics in a way. And once I help myself that way, I am available for the Shastra. A constantly frustrated person will be distracted from the message of the Shastra, from the message Krishna is teaching us. Therefore, it's related to Vedanta as well. And so, like this, Pujya Swamiji used to spend a lot of time um, to tell us to take care of ourselves. Do what is to be done. Be practical. And that's what we are after here in this new year, 2021, January 1st. We pray to Sri Krishna. We pray to Swami Dayananda ji. We pray to all our acharyas. And we pray to Dakshinamurti that they take care of us and they take care of everybody who needs help, and take care of society at large, because society does need help and everybody needs help. And so we pray for that kind of a year ahead of us, and hopefully the pandemic will be something from which we learn. Nothing is a waste, and we don't want a pandemic for sure. That's a prayer, but hopefully we can learn from it enough that we can take care of ourselves. Next time something happens, we can immediately take care of ourselves, so that any virus like this comes, we know what to do exactly. We can do, um, we can follow the advice of our leaders. So that's my prayer for today. I hope all of you can join me in that prayer. And so with that, let's conclude. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. So